How we all doing tonight? Do we have sound? What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday. Happy early St. Patrick's Day. It is Airbrush Down and Dirty Tricks here on a Thursday night, a little bit before St. Patrick's Day, but we're not going to be on St. Patrick's Day evening, so I wanted to do it ahead of time. And you can rewatch it then. So let's get this thing going. Let's see who we got in the house. Make sure we got everyone's sound and video and everything's doing good. So let's see what we got on our two feeds here. We got a couple people over on Facebook. How's it going, everyone? Thank you, Mike, for letting me know sound is good. Joshua just popped in. Who we got on Facebook? I mean, YouTube tonight. We got the crew. We got Mr. Leahy. How's it going? I'm coined the phrase Down Dirty Tricksters. That's going to be one of my membership levels, Down Dirty Tricksters. And we did record. We got that going on. Sound is good, 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 good. We got the green background for St. Patrick's Day. I think my camera's a little high. Let's see here. Okay. Ozzy Pete, Carl Becker, Bubba Six, Dan. All right. So I don't know if you caught the little quick short I did prior to coming on here. Miss Michelle, what's going on? I'm going to do a little gold leafing tonight. This is going to be the first time I've ever...
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Shut up. Always listening. Let's, bye Google, or whatever. Apple. Okay, so let me tell you what we got going on here. So I got this panel here. Oh, actually, let me get the, hold on one second, please, sorry. We're gonna go here, yeah. I need to get the image. Running solo tonight, so Kelly's got to get up early tomorrow. We got to go to Connecticut, look at a few other schools. All right, so this is the image we got going on. This is the vector. This is available still on McKayFineArt.com. This is the second half of the one I did last year. So a year ago we did the other Leprechaun, which is him holding the mug. And I think Gary Shees has that one. So I wanted to do the other one, the other variant. Okay, so last year when I did that one, we did that one on a dark green panel and did everything with like traditional dark colors and highlights and things like that. This is going to be a black panel, so I'm going to bring it all up in like whites and bright greens and then shade it. But last year we did it, I added gold leaf afterwards to the border. This year I want to actually put it in the mix since these got coins. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to add the coins gold, then do the shamrock gold, a little buckle here, and a tooth. So, for those of you who don't know how gold leafing works, the way you do gold leaf is you put down a sizing glue first, okay, in whatever shape you want the gold to stick to. It takes a little time. It takes anywhere from a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes or so. That's for quick size. There is slow size, which can take up to like, I think 12 hours and still stick glue for 24 hours. So it's what you use for like bigger jobs like fire trucks and stuff. I've never done it. I'm not a professional at that. Not my thing. I've done it in artwork and on bikes and here and there. So I need Guinness for this one. But we have a little whiskey. Not Irish whiskey because I hate Irish whiskey, sorry. But it's whiskey nonetheless. So the way you do sizing glue, the way I learned it was from videos back in the day. This is quick size, so it takes about half an hour to set. So whatever you're going to do, about 35 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago, I put the glue down with the mask. So normally, I like to pull the mask first before I leaf, but in this case I'm not going to do. I'm going to pull after. So hopefully I get a clean edge. I usually do with traditional 23 karat gold leaf, because it's so soft, I should get a clean edge. If not, we'll have to fix it up afterwards. And I use Duck's quick dry sizing. Like I said, it's about a half an hour, but you have some working time after that. And the way to check it, the way I learned, was actually from Gary Jensen's video, which is you want to hear the squeak test. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear it. So whenever I leaf, I always go off to the side, another piece of metal, and actually try it out. And you drag your knuckle. Hear that? It should squeak, and it shouldn't drag through. It shouldn't come off on your fingers. It's probably a little early, but it's doable. We'll give it another few minutes, but you can hear that squeak. Once you can hear that, you're usually good. But yeah, drag the knuckle. Oh, Dave the Bug Gregory has already put a bid in. I am going to really try to catch bids as much as possible. If I don't, please remind me. So, because I don't have Kaylee. He's in at 175. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that bid. Much appreciated. All right. So, yeah, so that's good. So, there's lots of different leaves out in the market. Let's talk about it. Lots of cool stuff here. This is what I'm using. This is from Gold Beaters. I don't know how to pronounce that. Giastomeniti Ferenz. Yeah, sure. But this is 23 karat patent leaf, okay? This is the good stuff. You also have imitation leaf. This is variegated leaf. It's got a really cool pattern to it. This is, silver leaf. It's authentic metal leaf. But this is not sterling silver. This is imitation leaf. This is imitation gold leaf. When you see them side by side, you can see the real stuff looks more like gold, but both will work just fine. We have copper leaf. And then I got this from Dave at Coast. This is really bitchin'. This is an orange shoe leaf. This stuff's really cool. I got to use this in a project at some point. But yeah, I wanted to do 23 karat gold leaf and just make it official. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. All right, so I've been on a leaf kick. I did the panel the other day for the heart thorn one. And now I did the helmet the other night, the motorcycle helmet, the 55 in the back, that was silver leaf as well. And now we're going to do it on this. So, let me get my mug out of here because I don't want you to just have to look at my forehead. Switch that up, there we go. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? How about this? How about we just go to that cam? Does that work for everyone? Everyone can see that good? Does that look clear? Yeah, it looks clear on my side. Yep, that looks good. So you can see the mask. I put some paint in here just so you can see all the cutting. And I've removed these. And what I've also done, if I think I need it, I'm going to want to cover this up afterwards. So I made some silhouettes to cover back up. And then I'll show you how to mask those off. This is where it gets a little tricky because I usually don't mask over gold. But I may have to in this, so we'll see how it's going. Gary, what's going on, man? All right. So we're going to get right into it, man. This is gold. I got that squeak. Oh, before we get to going, Dave the Bug Gregory, this is for you. Thank you for the bid. And a little cowbell. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, all right, so this is Gold Leaf. If I'm not replying to comments, I'm sorry. I have no help tonight. It's just me. Hi, Mom. I see my mom's on here. David, Matthew, Robert. We got my brother Todd. How's it going, everyone? Thank you for popping in. Make sure you hit that like and share. Get over to the YouTube channel. Video quality is much better. All right, so here we go. Here we go. This is 23 karat gold leaf. So we're going to stick this right over. This is how I like to do it. Put it down soft. Pull it up because, see, I didn't get everywhere. So I want to make sure I get everywhere before I move on. Because I don't want to get my fingers in the glue, and I don't want to get the paper in the glue. Okay? Gold. Should have some Austin Powers music playing. Alright, so now I'm going to get over here to the money. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hit this guy. This piece has got a little break in it, so I'm just going to use it on here. Kelly's feeling fine. She's a little under the weather. She's been burning the candle at both ends with a lot of school prep and prep for SATs. So she was at her, prep for SATs the other night till midnight. And that kind of wore out that she went to school the next day and just beat her up. So she's kind of just taking it easy. So we're going to Connecticut tomorrow to look at another school. And there we go. This is the final one. Whoop. Don't want to waste it. Okay. And now we're going to, beat it into the glue, okay? That's why the term gold beaters comes in, okay? I learned this from actually Keith Hansen. Watching him do it. And between using the palm right here on your hand and just kind of letting it pat in, or like you can really get it in with your thumb and just kind of flick. So like these little guys, I like to kind of, especially when it's in masking, because it pushes it and kind of cuts it on the mask. Or you can take right here and just get it in there. Let's switch over to multi. And really you're just getting in, and it's actually pulling some up, so when you kind of come back down, it'll actually fill any gaps or holes or things like that. But I like this thumb technique and really get in there and push, especially when it's against the mask. This is, you'd obviously get more complicated with like engine turning and stuff like that. Engine turning, you want to let the glue set a little bit more. When you're doing turning and things like that, that really is determined by how well the glue is set. If you go too early, you'll just like, twist up the glue. Get it all in there. Usually if you have like a shop vac, you can just kind of like have it there and just suck up the gold, because right now there's going to be gold everywhere all over this. And there's some scraplets here. I try not to throw it out because you can usually use it. We might need it for some repairs later. So we're just going to, while that's setting up, we're just going to kind of save these pieces. And I do have a more thorough video on leafing coming out when I did that picture frame. Well, I did the frame of the thorn heart, so I just gotta finish editing that. Yep, Midas touch, man. Gotta love some gold. Right, Mom? Mom loved gold. Loves gold. Okay. Let's get it in there. That's looking good. And then take a cotton ball, and this actually burnishes the gold a little bit and smooths out the texture. I actually don't want to lose too much of the texture because I kind of want it. It's a Hong Kong Phooey approach. You know you're older when you know Hong Kong Phooey. So like I missed a little glue over there, so I want to see if I can get some in there. I might not have had too much glue there, so the gold's not sticking. Let's see if I can push some more in there. We're going to be airbrushing these coins anyway, so if I get a little, mistake or something like that, we can make it work. And I'm going to be doing some airbrushing here, so it's all good. We'll make it work with a little gold tooth. Now that's it, man. That's leafing. Now, like I said, typically what I do Here we'll throw a little in the drink. Look, now it's Goldschlager. Ha ha. All right. So we got gold. Now it's traditional painting time. Okay. So I don't know where my image went. Sorry guys, gotta move out. Okay, there's the image right under me. So cool, like I said, this is what we're gonna be doing. And this is going to be the same as the other video. So if you guys who want to do this one, you can go to MckayFineArt.com. I still got Cowbell active. You can get 20% off the Leprechaun download. So if you just go into catalog, it's down there for the Leprechaun feed. You can get it there. Let's talk about the paint list we're doing tonight. This is what we got going on here. So, still use my reducer mix. I got my UVLS clear. I'm using Poison Green and Emerald Green as my like candy mix. It's more emerald than poison, but I just don't like the emerald totally, so I like to cut it down a little bit. Poison Green. We got opaque white. I'm going to use the opaque limelight for most of my airbrush work. And then I got the Berlin Frog Juice Green to kind of tone things in, and then black. And the black I've actually mixed with the candy green a little bit too. So, Calvin Jones. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. Much appreciated. All right, let's get started here. Okay, so as we know, when I'm doing this type of work, I'm using white. So I'm going to pick things that are the highest up front, okay? So the foreground pieces right now is the brim of the hat and the knuckles. So we're going to start there, and we're going to start shading these in place, okay? And let's not forget to talk about some of the guys that we use to make this thing happen. Obviously, fisheye filter to keep the air clean. I got my Wada airbrushes, Createx colors, obviously. This is the FPS Blue Mask. We're going to be actually using all three of it. I'm going to use the gold mask for an overlay if I need it. And I'm going to show you a trick with the clear green. Okay, as well. So, a little bit of everything going on here tonight. Do we got Gerald in the house? Did I miss Gerald? Wait. Okay, yeah, it's been a year since the last Leprechaun, man. It has. What did Michelle say? I love the other GoldLeafs. Oh, yeah. All right. Cool. All right, let's go. So, we're going to start. Which airbrush to pick? Dun, dun, dun. Let's use, because we're doing the opaque, I'm going to use the Eclipse Takumi, because it's got the larger nozzle. Thank you, Chris. Much appreciated. And where is my opaque green? I mixed it. I have it somewhere. That's white. That's frog. What the hell? I think I threw out my green mix. You son of a... Mm. Wow. Guys, give me 2 minutes. I gotta remix my opaque green since I can't find it. I must have strained it and threw it out. Sorry, guys. Hold, please. Do 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 do. This isn't too bad because it's just really reducer. But I do like to let this stuff sit for a bit beforehand. We're just going to have to go right to it. Okay, sorry about that. So opaque limelight green is the green I'm going to use to build all my tone and structure. And I'm going to do that out of my Eclipse. Where can I get the vector for this piece? So if you go to this link, Angel, if you go over to here, MckayFineArt.com, if you go to catalog, it'll be about, maybe about 3/4 of the way down. You'll see the Leprechaun one. You'll get 2 different versions of it. And if you use code COWBELL at checkout, you'll get 20% off. The link, I believe, the link to it is in the description on YouTube. Alright, so opaque green. Yep, there we go. Good to go. I am all discombobulated tonight, people, so bear with me. Okay, I don't have my pick, so I'm just going to use a blade. Alright, so we're going foreground to background. That's how I typically work with this stuff. You're welcome. So I'm going to start with the knuckles, which the middle finger here is the front, and then these all stage behind it. So we're going to start here. I'm not going to be saving pieces as I go, because I don't have time. Thanks, Michael. So again, when you're starting with, on dark surfaces, you're not painting the shadows, you're painting the highlighting. Basically with the lights hitting and letting the overspray create the rest of the shape. So when you're doing cylindrical shading, and you're looking at something cylindrical like this, see this highlight ridge? This is what you're painting. You're not painting the darkness above and below it, you're starting with the highlight ridge. Okay? In a couple passes, the middle's brighter, but the overspray has gotten all around. It's already getting you that nice natural radius shadow. Okay? Now I'm going to the next one. You know, on automotive, you paint a lot like this because a lot of times you're painting in dark color. Like Michelle, you were just doing that, like basically satanic hell bike. And you start, it's a mind flip because if you're used to painting on light surfaces, you're all of a sudden painting in a different order. A few people popping in and out on Facebook. I never know who's actually there on Facebook because it barely shows. Sometimes there's 3, there's like 20 people commenting. I can't tell anymore. I know so many people having issues with Facebook's algorithm. But we're good. Yeah, once you start getting some, you can take multiples off at once because I can work on this one above. And this one below. But you see the nice opaque coverage on this? This is why I'm using the Eclipse versus the Micron. I don't like using Microns or Micron clones or Micron similarity brushes that you're made to similar specs or the same specs at this stage, because those brushes are designed for ink-like consistency, and it's hard to get really nice high coverage opaques out of it. With solvents you can get a little bit more out of it because solvent opaques run a little thinner, but not by much. Even when I'm doing solvent, I still typically use a Eclipse, or I'm using like my like HPCH. So that way it's at least like a 0.3 versus instead of 0.35. Or if I am using a Micron, I'm using a Micron with a 0.23 as opposed to the 1/8. I think the 1/8 you know, everyone's trying to get, and everyone's trying to copy the Micron or brushes like it, is they're almost doing a disservice to people trying to get people to buy these cheaper versions of a 0.18 brush. You're just fighting it, man. You're just fighting thicker paints, especially when you go for coverage. Just remember, if you got a 0.18 airbrush, you should be running ink-like consistency. And you are not going to get high coverage at ink-like consistency with any paint. It just doesn't. There's certain mechanics involved. Let's see, Eric. Yeah, that gets a try. That's right. But if you go there and use Cowbell, Eric, you're getting 20% off. So if you buy 10, man, it's only like buying 8. You know, the money you make off these in the long run and what you can do, especially the pattern one. The pattern collection is probably one of the best things you can get. What kind of panel? Angel, this is an aluminum panel. So this aluminum panel I typically use. This is Alumicore, which is PVC plastic core in the middle. You know, an 1/8 inch, a little bit less. And then it's aluminum, like really thin aluminum on both sides. Love this stuff. Okay, here we go there. We're good, we're good. All right, let's get the brim of this hat. So again, what am I doing? I'm looking what's on the top surface, okay? And I'm kind of working around from there. And this is what I'm using. This is the FBS Blue. On flat panels, you know, masking type is negligible. What's nice about the FBSs, especially when it comes to the gold, if you're using like General Formulations or Avery or 3M, Gary Shees, thank you, my brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're using that thicker material, it's hard to pull the gold, and when you paint against it, you get a really thick edge. This is why I like FBS Blue. It's super, super thin. The gold is even thinner, and the green and the blue are the same. So if you go to the gold is thinner, but it's not as flexible on curved surfaces. And if you go to the green again isn't really. The green is the same as the blue, but it's transparent. So we're going to talk about that when we get there. I don't actually have a green link here. So brim of the hat. Where's the light hitting? It's just like a cylinder, so it's hitting more towards the top because we're using a top-down light source. And I want to hit right here. We can do little stitches and just kind of give it a little radius. See that? Like the brim's got a little something happening. I wish I had my pick tool. I think it's in the other room. My studio is a pigsty. Got so much going on. Tyler Kearns, what's going on, brother? Thank you for popping in. Alright, so now we got, okay, so I got the brim. I got the little buckle here. That's over. Let's see, we're going to see how this gold pulls. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Beauty. That gold pull nice and clean. And I'm going to try not to mask over if I don't have to. I'm just going to hit the edge. There we go. It's nice. Let's see if I need to. We're going to test it. If I'm going to lose it on a spot, I'd rather lose it on something like this. No, I didn't cut that out of the mask. I'm an idiot. Oops, oh well. No, I mean, I am to a point, but it doesn't really stick to gold that well, so I can always erase it gently off the gold, like with a Q-tip. So, like, if I get a lot on it, I'm not too worried about it. But if I am worried about it, that's why I did cut a mask. I just didn't cut a mask for this one. It's an artist thing. My poor brother, we had to share a room together growing up. I think I was probably half the cause was OCD. Because I was a mess and he wasn't. Alright, so we got the buckle. Well, a little too heavy there, that's fine. And I'm really just controlling the overspray so I'm not getting over the gold. But even if I did, I should be able to take a soft eraser like this, and I can erase it right off the gold without scratching too much. So just be really careful. I'm going to try not to do that unless I have to. Alright, let's pull the hat. And whenever I'm pulling on stuff like this, I'm pulling like up and away so it actually makes a natural cut. And I'm not going to leave this gold like fully gold. I'm going to add some green candy and tint it and shade it. And when it's cleared, it's just going to reflect gold. Take a nice edge. Really nice edge. I'm going to be brave here. Just do a little test here. Yeah, see? It doesn't pull the gold up. So I can mask all this if I need to. Right now I don't think I need to. So I'm just going to keep away from it and just work it. Let's go. You can see that gold really starting to shimmer. Look at that. Really cool, right? Let's go to the multi-view and see how we're looking there. Let's see if we can get it a little closer. There we go. Alright. So what I'm going to do is, like when I do this with the hat, I'm going to hit the edge of the hat, but I'm not going to, it's going to be dark on here anyway. I assume, and that does also work. Sure, yep. It's a vector file, so whatever machine you have that runs any type of vector file. So on my downloads, Angel, you have EPS, AI, PDF, PNGs, DXF files, SVGs, and then JPEGs and things like that. So from a water jet to any cutter, it'll work. And if for some reason it doesn't, you have an issue, you message me and I'll format the file so it does if you got something funky. And here we go here. And I'm just keeping the spray kind of away from the gold and just hitting the edges. Because this part of the hat's going to be darker anyway. So it's fine. I love gold. Yeah, that keeps running through my head. I wish I could do the sound effects without getting demonetized. You're welcome, Angel. So just controlling the overspray. I'm not getting anything on here, so it'll all be good. We'll see how we do when I get down to the money. That's going to be a little trickier. So we got the hat, we got the hat. So you notice this is, if you watched me in my videos, I'm painting top down, okay? So whatever is on top, what's in the foreground, that's what's getting highlighted first, and I'm working to the background. And I don't start with the brightest color, because the brightest color would be, like I start with white here. Oh man, Big Squashy, I'm a disaster, man. I go through phases where, I clean up regularly, but just when I work, I just let things kind of devolve into chaos a little bit more. It's just kind of how things work. I want to make sure this is pretty good for you guys. Is that pretty clear? I'm just going to focus it a little bit and make sure we're good. There we go. Good, good, good. awesome. So yeah, I can see the gold. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Let's switch back to that multi-view. So you can see the image over here, or over here, down here, yeah, there. That's what we're painting, that's the image. So as I go through paintings like this, I start looking for what's in the foreground, okay? So I know that I lost my knife, again, as always, yep, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me know if I missed any bids. I think we are still at Dave the Bug Gregory at $175. If anything else I missed, let me know, please. So I'm going to start doing the money sack, because that's above his skull. So I'm going to pull a section here. And there's a little half cut right here. I'm going to stop there and kind of fold it. I'm going to shade that first, and then pull it. Then I get that full. Sorry, I was talking with a knife in my mouth. Mom always said, don't talk with a knife in your mouth. Right, Mom? And then I'm coming down off these folds. This would be a good place to use. Ding! Plug Party Graphics. So I can come in here and now I can use that just to make a little fold. Come off this one. Make a little fold there. Just make some little folds. Give some freehand wrinkles. Don't run with scissors either, exactly. You know what Mom always said as well? What did Mom always say? Brady Bunch. So I'm thinking. Mom always said, come on, where's my 70s kids and 80s kids? Yeah. Yeah, Gary, you have last year's, correct? I believe that went to Gary. So now here's the top end of the bag. Money sack. And now I'm going to come down to the lower. Mom always said, don't play ball in the house. Thank you, Michelle. Man, I should have had some little prizes set up for questions. What was broken? No, it wasn't the lamp. The lamp didn't break from ball in the house. What broke? It wasn't the lamp. Oh, it was the lamp and something else? It was the vase, wasn't it? Because it wasn't the vase on the table, and it was like leaking out because they tried to glue it. Or am I thinking two different ones? So I pulled that part. So that kind of creates that fold. Now I can create this one here. Now I can pull the rest. All right. We're going to take a little risk here. Okay, I'm going to mask over the gold coins because honestly, if the gold coins start to peel a little bit, if the glue wasn't quite ready yet, because I am kind of rushed, I think it'll be fine. I can always make it look like the coins are a little damaged. So what I did here is I made these vectors that will go right over everything. Okay, so You know, transfer tape, paper transfer tape will block it out so it's hard to see through. There's clear transfer tape, but I found even the clear transfer tape is really hard to kind of see through. So what I started doing recently, I mean, you could always cut your thing out of green mask as well, but see how transparent this green mask is? I actually a lot of times use it as transfer tape because it's super easy to see through. Yes, I know it's expensive transfer tape, but when you're doing work that's going to be perfect, spare no expense. So this is nice because it's so clear. I can really see through it perfectly. And I can line everything up. And hopefully everything is good in line. And we're going to hope it doesn't peel gold off. I'm just not going to like slam it in there. We're just going to squeegee it nice and soft. These coins have the flat side and the edge. Oh, so the gold's only coming off where it wasn't glued, so it's down there nice. That's good. That's what we want. We'll take our time. The nice thing about gold is things don't like to stick to it, so the chance of the mask pulling the gold is slim. Now it does happen if you would already paint over this. If you put masking on top of GoldLeaf that you've airbrushed on top of, or cleared, a lot of times it pulls the clear of the paint right off it. Sorry, that one's a little tricky, but we can get it worked in here. There we go. Just take your time. See what's pulling off there? That's just the masking. That's not the gold. But the FBS gold mask is also super low tack, and it's super thin. There's a lot of little cuts in this one, so I just take this one on. Cool. So now that gold is mixed up, is covered up. So don't have to worry about it. We'll do the same thing with the gold tooth right here. We'll cover that up and go from there. Martha's nose was a football, yes. So Carl, if the glue was set right, the mask should not pull the glue off. I should be able to be alright. It's a little risky, but if I did it right, it should be okay. But I like the gold mask because it's super, super low tact. The clear green is as well. It's a little lower tact than the blue. So therefore, I'm going to have the best luck with that. Or, you know, the other trick you can do, just you can't do with water-based paints, is regular standard paper transfer tape. You can lay it on a hand cut around it. Because if you want to release transfer tape with no pull of glue, you just put a little water on it and the glue releases like that. Okay. So now I can paint all this little detail here on the rips in the bag. And there's another little rip here. And we'll just do some indentations of other coins like they're in the bag. And then shade over them. Honey! I see Honey over on Facebook. Is Honey over here on YouTube? So now I can do that. And there's a nice little rip right here. There's a little extra piece off. That's going to be like the edge of the tear of the bag. I'm going to hit that. Cool. Alright. What's next, children? So let's look around the board. We'll talk like Mr. Rogers. What part do we pull next, kids? So we looked at this. Let's talk about what we've done. Because we're pulling from top down. So this was on top. This is done, this is done, this is done, this is done. All the knuckles are done because they're the most foreground. Then this is done. Where can we go next? What's the next part? Break your arse, enough said. So there's a few places you can go right here, okay? We can go a few different places. So the hair here is above the skull itself. We can do all the teeth, which is probably what I'm going to do first. Oh, Ron, I like ducks. I used to like, oh man, what was, I used to use, they don't make it anymore. Shoot. Damn it, I forget the name of the GoldLeaf size I used to use, but they don't make it anymore, so you can't get it unless you can find it. I still like ducks sizing, which is an oil-based, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is an oil-based. And so a lot of people get worried about oil-based, sizing if you've got a urethane clear over it, they're going to wrinkle. Doesn't happen. Because the gold actually seals up the oil 100%, so you don't get a reaction, so you don't have to worry about that. Water-based size that's on the market, there's some people that have some like branded, self-branded water-based size, and there's some other stuff. I don't like the water-based size. It's horrible. I'm not a fan of one-shot size either. I've used it. For me, it was inconsistent. I like ducks. I'm really forgetting the other one. It wasn't one-shot. It was a different brand. Tyler Carnes, you still in here? You'll know. What's the other sizing they don't make anymore? All the painters are down Daytona. All right. So what I'm going to start with is the teeth, because the teeth are heavy in the foreground. I want to get them out. So I'm going to start with front to back. So I'm going to work both up and down. So I'm going to start with the most forward tooth, which is this one and this one, because there's teeth staggered behind it on either side. Okay, so if you look, the eye will be one of the last things to do. So this tooth here, this one here, and this one here are the most foregrounded. Everything other tooth fall behind it. Yeah, and here's the thing. Michelle brings up a very good point. What she says is best for our area. Okay, so if you're in a real climate makes a difference when you're using sizing glue, because if you're really hot, like if you're in fucking Arizona, this ducks will kick off so damn fast. You got like 10 minutes before you got to start leafing, and it'll get hard really quick because it's just so dry. If you're in Vegas, if you're up here where we're colder, a little moister, you get that nice half-hour, 40-minute work. Before you need to start working it, and then you get a while. So, I am not an absolutist. Everyone, a lot of guys who do videos like, you have to do it this way. This is the only way to do it. I don't give it. I don't. I'm not like that for the most part. A couple things I'm militant about, but there's many ways to skin a cat. So the teeth I want nice and opaque. So I'm really going to hit that high coverage. Yeah, Michelle's right, exactly. But if you're in Arizona where Steve is, you got 10 minutes so you can start, because it starts to kick off quick. So I know guys in those part of the country, they'll actually like mix a fast and a slow size together at different amounts to control the speed. And some guys just use one-shot paint. I know guys that just use like gold-colored or imitation gold, like that mustardy gold one-shot, and one-shot's their sizing. And it works great, you know. So now I can, because that tooth is masked, I can just paint over it and not worry about it. Same with all this stuff. Let's go back down here. That tooth is top center. So I can actually do two at once. I can go left to right. See that? I can pull, core shadow, core highlight, and just paint it. And now I'm at that point where I'm going to start cruising through this, trying to get all the mask off as fast as I can. I did hit record, thank you very much. Thanks for popping in, honey. Got a lot of running around today. Got Mama's birthday tomorrow, so I had to go get her some stuff, wrap it up and get all that going. Like I said, then we're going down to Connecticut tomorrow. Go look at another school. So Miss Kaylee, who's not with us tonight. I think she's faking it at this point. She just wants to be lazy. Let's see. Let's switch cameras. We'll go to here so you can see that. Let's see if I can zoom in a little. Whoops, let's zoom out. We don't want to zoom out. This remote needs batteries. Oh my god, these batteries are so slow. Hey Cameron, thanks for popping in. Much appreciated. Alright, so the teeth are done. Let's do this beard. Let's do his hair. Let's get that hair done. Gonna pull that out. Just gonna pull it all out here. This one you could go either way. You could pull the hair or the chin. This is all part of the hair. This has one little cut right there where it's this part of the hair, a little fold, and then like the back part. So we're going to leave that. Alright. And now we're just going to do dagger strokes. If you want, you can also use, which I dropped on the floor. Everyone's quiet tonight. Got 56 in here. So what you can do for the hair is you can use like a pyro curve and just spray and move, and you'll get these cool little bands. We can fold it back and start getting those separations, because you got to keep them separated. Sorry, that was really lame. Jimmy Z, thank you very much, my friend. Much, much, much appreciated. We'll give you a little cowbell to boot. My hole up here is a little plug. Can't stress this enough, guys. When you're painting, I always shake as I'm going through. And paint will dry in this little vent, and when it does that, you start losing flow. There we go. Yeah, I'm doing this all in green tones because I want this to be like... Where is fucking Arizona? It's Arizona. It's everywhere. It's fucking Arizona. Shouting. No longer quiet. Yeah, the offspring riff. Exactly, Carl. Yeah, I'm doing this all in green tones because I want this to be the opposite of the other one, whereas the one I did last year that Gary bought was a light green panel with all the artwork done in darks and then highlighted. This is going to be a black panel, flipped the other way. So I'm painting with all the highlights, and the goal here is to get the masking off as quick as possible. So see, I get that in there, and now I can pull. Now I can pull the rest of the masking. And I can continue down like with this. There isn't going to be much here. On here, it's going to be pretty dark. Marshall, what's going on, man? You missed the GoldLeaf section. Marshall knows what GoldLeaf is all about. Marshall, are you using 23 karat when you're doing those print GoldLeaf? Okay, where are we going? 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 You're nervous when you pulling the mask? I'm not. I am. No, I'm not. Whatever. If it happens, it happens. What do? You just fix it. Does the GoldLeaf? No. See, when you're using real GoldLeaf, like, you know, the 23 karat GoldLeaf, it's as thin as it can be. It leaves no edge. The actual edge that here is the actual glue that was left for the masking, which is why I usually mask, glue, then I pull the masking off and let the glue edge kind of settle down. And when you go in, do you use water-based leaf? No, I friggin' hate water-based leaf. I don't trust it. I don't like it. I don't like its working time. I like ducks sizing. And I will spray this from time to time. When I spray this, like when I did the Godfather bike, I'll spray this with, I'll put like 5%, you know, mineral spirits in it. If you can find like regular mineral spirits, not the odorless kind, like the actual good stuff, 5% it sprays, it just lays down like glass. So I do spray it from time to time, but I didn't want to do it in this. But the edge is less edge than paint. Way less edge than paint. Alright, so yeah, so let's do... yeah, we're going to pretty much pull the upper portion of the skull. So we're going to go all in here. Basically pulling the whole mask. Some people have good luck with the water-based size. I'm not a fan of it. Okay, so I'm pulling the whole upper mask except for like the back part of the jaw. Okay, so this way I can shade all the majors. So off the nose bridge, when you look at a skull, let me find a skull here. When you look at a skull, you can see what's the brightest part. What's one of the brightest areas looking at, you know, the face of the skull right here? Thanks, Gary. So when you look at this chrome skull here, what I notice that's the brightest piece of the area I'm about to paint is the nose bridge. Right? See the top of the nose? See how that highlight just slams it? It's just hitting right on it. And then under the eyes, and then above the eye socket. Then above the teeth. See those? So yes, Michelle, based on the skull, you'd be right. The forehead, but the forehead in our painting is covered by a hat. So next thing down will be the nose bridge. Under the eyes here, because the light's top down, it's hitting there. It's hitting all the sockets, and it's hitting around the septum. I gotta get a little positionable arm for a skull if I can put it up. I know Gerald's got one. So I'm gonna follow that. And I usually don't look at them. I've painted so many damn skulls in my life, I kind of have it memorized to where they go. So I hit here. I'm hitting under the eye. And then across the cheekbone. Yeah, top of the teeth, exactly. So, yep, so I go from nose, below the eye, above the eye. I'm going to hit the eyebrow area here, even though the hat's covering a lot of it, but that's going to be the next best area. All around to the temple. Again, under the eye, the cheekbone. The cheekbone's, the light's coming down, so it's hitting that cheekbone. And this part of the cheekbone is radius underneath, so it doesn't get as much. But we'll give it a little rim light. Okay, and then we're going to come down from the nose septum, the middle, down to the teeth. Like Michelle was saying, the teeth in the sockets. So what I do is I do nice little rat tails going up from the center of the teeth. Just soft, kind of like pillow stroke ones. Just really soft. Right up to the cheek. And off the nose. And then I just kind of softly shade it in. That would be the anti-maxillar chromium. You, Steve. Actually, I remember teaching alongside Eddie Davis and Rob Churchill, and they will tell you every piece, every bone. Every goddamn little bone, maxil, and yeah. I know the deviated septum. I know the septum because I had mine redone because it was all crushed and messed up. So that one I know all about this shit. When they peel your nose back and break all that up and fix it. So now I'm going into the nose. So now I'm hitting that septum. Schnozzle, maximus, maximal, anti-max, whatever. It was good catching up with you, Steve. Glad your mom is doing well. Such a trooper. Okay, so there we go, there we go. Now I can pull this part of the nose out. And just slowly build. Now, the eye. Okay, the whitest part of the eye is the eyeball itself, so that's going to get the greenest. So I'm going to pull that. Mr. Powers? Mr. Powers is in the house. What's going on, brother man? Thanks for popping in. Hope things are well down in Aussie. Doing one of my vector file projects, the Leprechaun Skull. Talking about sequential masking, really, and then working your tone. So now the iris is going to be a little darker, but that has all the texture. So if we're going to do texture, might as well do a little texture effects, right? Look at that. We'll go right, oh, look at that. Perfect. What do we call that? Freaking details. Now I can pull the pupil out. And now you get all those different levels, all them different levels. Now I can pull the sockets, the eye sockets themselves out. Let me just highlight a little bit off to the side. Got to get some coverage there. And we're almost 100% done with the masking. I'm just going to go... Ever do a femme skeleton? Yep. Yep, quite a few actually. Yeah, we got some gold leaf going in here. Actually, if you look, can't really see it. The video I just did at Cratex has the girl skull, like Day of the Dead style one. But I've done like female-esque style skulls quite a bit in the past. Pull socket, pull socket. Yet again, for those who wonder why I plot this stuff, A, I plot it for two reasons. A, it's much easier for you guys to follow along time fashion online. B, this is a skull I've done quite a few times, kind of like flash art. Done a few bikes with it. And a few variants of it. So it's easy to size and redo. And the same approach for how I do it here would be identical if I drew it, if I put sheet masks down, drew the character out by hand and hand cut it, I would still pull and shade the exact same way. So, I don't know if you're getting an echo, if it's, could be one of my other devices. I think it should be gone now. I feel like I'm on watch and have no idea what he's talking about, trying to learn about this. Do this. So, Brian, this process of doing it the exact same way I would do it on a vehicle. Picture this panel. This is a metal panel. This is a metal hood. Okay? So, this particular one has been plotted out with my plotter. So I designed it, I sketched it on paper, vectored it in the computer, made a vector file, which the machine makes all the cuts for me. Okay, after I've designed it for my drawing. But if I didn't have one of those machines, I would just put transfer tape or masking tape over the whole hood. I would draw this out by hand, and I would start cutting and peeling the sections exactly the same way I did it here. Okay, the same order, the same method, the same process. So when I design my plot files in my process, I do it the exact same way as if I would do it traditionally by hand. Because sometimes I do it by hand, sometimes I do it with a plotter. Sometimes I do both. It just depends on the job. So, but it doesn't make a difference because the process doesn't change whether I'm hand cutting it on a car or motorcycle or if I'm doing it with a plotted file like this. Okay, echo's gone. Yeah, so the one device I use. So one of the devices I use to read comments is like another small iPad. It's a little Kindle. That had the volume up one notch, and it's close to my speaker, so I think it was feeding back through the speaker. I finally did get my Vision Air boarding this week. Cannot wait till Saturday. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Once you get it together, you must be monitoring in the room with audio on. Yeah, Mike. One of my devices in my fishbowl, the volume up was 1, so there was a slight echo. There should be gone now. I was trying to get my lapel mic working, but I keep getting a static in the lapel mic, and I don't know. It's like a pitch, and I can't get rid of it. So I don't know if there's some issue going on in here. Shine, yeah, man, I love doing a projector. So a lot of times I would just project it onto the hood, sketch it with a Stabilo pencil like I did last week's feed, and then just freehand it. I do a lot of masking, especially because when I'm doing motorcycles, I'm doing it twice. So I'm doing the left side of the bike and the right side of the bike. So I tend to either hand cut it, make a pattern, or I'm so fast with the plotter because I've done it so long. I can take a sketch like this and vector it in 5 minutes. And then plot it out and size it whatever I want. The benefit to plotting versus cutting is no knife blade has ever cut a line into this panel. So the integrity of the base coat and the surface is never harmed by cutting on it. There's no risk of expansion. There's no risk of like delamination from cutting, or 6 months down the road that cut heats up and splits, because it can happen. It's rare, but it does. Or if I didn't like something, I could wet sand this and wipe this right off the hood and start from scratch, and there's no cut marks on it. That's the other benefit to plotting. It's one of those things, you don't need it, but once you have it, it's fun to use. And in my case, I do a lot of jobs where I've never seen the car or bike until I've arrived on site. Okay, so, you know, I've arrived on site, I've already have the masking cut, sized, ready to go. I can start painting the car that day, because I usually have people send me measurements of the car or pictures of the car, and I size everything ahead of time. So that first 3 or 4 days you'd work on a car hand drawing it on the hood, I've done that back at my studio prior to even flying out to the job. So it minimized the time I'm away, or it minimized the time I'm stuck in someone else's booth tying up their shop. So they can have the car prepped and ready. I come in, lay the masking, I start painting that day. It's just an efficient way to work. So Brian, what I'm doing right now is, how do you make the colors transparent enough to cover the other colors? So some colors are more opaque than others, but if I go through a lot of my videos here, so what I'm using here, this is a very high coverage opaque green, and I've reduced it a little extra, and I'm airbrushing it for coverage in the center, so it's like 2 passes, see how bright it gets? But I can come out here and shade lightly and not overpower it. Good automotive paints like House of Color. This is Createx water-based. PPG makes some nice lines. Orion's making some nice ones. There's a bunch of paints that are formulated for custom painters. So what they do is the pigments are ground down very fine. So when you reduce it and spray through an airbrush, you can go from very soft transparencies to full coverage and not get grainy spray. But it takes a while. You know, it's not an overnight thing. I've been doing this for over 30 years. But I have the paint. I pretty much make my paint, I reduce it in such a fashion that it's 3 passes. You know, to 4 passes till I get to 100% opaque coverage. Or as Mr. Powers would say, I think you would say capped. A capped color, meaning 100% opaque. So therefore, you could put 5, 6, 7 more on top. It wouldn't change the tone of it. It's capped off. It's at 100%. I always love that term from Daniel's videos. All right, that's the last piece of masking cut. Back teeth, a little jaw, and a little bit of the back of the skull in here. All right, so let's pull this gold tooth. Drum roll, please. Warlock! What's going on, buddy? All right, so this I masked over with the FBS. Look at that. Perfect. Nothing. Fully intact. So when I start tinting this with the transparent like candies and stuff, now I can work all this tone, because my candies and my black and my darker colors are semi-transparent, so I can tone everything in and carve all the details. But I've achieved all this work with just pulling and spraying, pulling and spraying, pulling and spraying, pulling and spraying. There's been almost no full freehand here, you know, for design. It's all just been softly shaded and blended in, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch. And just efficiency-wise, this was all done with the Eclipse. I only used, for this whole piece, a half cup full. Yeah, Brian, you know, check out the videos. We got tons of them. I got a whole ton here. Daniel Powers has a whole series that he's redoing. His videos were outstanding back in the day, and he's redoing one now on YouTube. There's Airbrush Asylum is another page. It's excellent. And all of us who do this, you know, do these videos, do it so to help the industry and help everyone get started and, you know, not have to go through what we went through. Right, Dan? All the years of struggle with no help. Now I'll make a little money along the way helping. Sorry. But yeah, coastairbrush.com. We do a program out in California. And that should be coming up very shortly. All right. So now I'm going to do, let's see if this green candy is dark enough. It might have to go to the black candy. Yeah, so this is for tone. Yeah, so that's a nice shade. See that? So this is my candy I used. This is the paint list. Okay. So what I did is I used these two colors right here. This is the poison green and emerald green. I did about 3 parts poison green, 3 parts emerald, 1 part poison, and then 50-50, so 1-to-1 mix with the UVLS. Okay. That's how I did that. That's what this color is. Oh yeah, Mike's brush as well, Stephen Leahy. Tons and tons and tons of videos. Yeah, so Daniel has a dedicated site. We're gonna try to co-market our stuff and get each other rolling. So if you want to, Dan, feel free to put a link up. Go for it. And then what we'll do is I'll give some of your students discount on my store if they're into vector downloads and you want to do any vector projects. We can cross-platform them. Would love to work that with you. So, link is appropriate, sir. Yeah, so my classes here are online. These ones I'm doing here, a lot of these projects you can follow along with. I'm building a whole library as well. Daniel's is a whole dedicated site. There's a whole bunch out there. All right. Yeah, Cali is a long drive, but yeah, we have a lot of online. And the way I'm doing this lesson here, it's designed to follow along. Aside from some of the banter, you know, I structure it in a way that you can follow along with the color lists. And if you go to this website here, this is MckayFineArt.com. This has this download, a whole bunch of other project downloads that you can follow along and go from there. Yep, we'll talk about that another time, but yeah, definitely put that link up to your program, Dan. And guys, take care. Yeah, Michael, some of my projects, you don't need a plotter. Some of them you do. A lot of these, like this one, you could print this out. You could hand cut this as a stencil. I've done that in a bunch of mine. And just work it from there. You don't need to have a plotter. Plotter can just be a faster solution. So I'm going to shade this underneath, and I'm going to actually get the darker one out right here. Oh, Angel, you can catch it on the rebound. It'll be up. Current bid is at, unless I missed something, $175 to Dave the Bug Gregory. We've had a lovely amount of super chats tonight, which is also very helpful. Oh, cool. So Airbrush Bootcamp's right above. Yep, I missed it. But guys, yeah, go into that and grab that link. Well, yeah, man, plotters are a lifesaver. They really are. And you don't need a big expensive plotter. You can get a lot of my stuff is Cameo Cricut friendly. I like the Cameo Silhouette actually overall for people getting started. It's one of the easiest to use, especially if you starting to get automotive and cars. Logo work alone, it's worth its weight in gold. Yeah. And, you know, the key to a plotter, and I'm going to say this very honestly, too many people get them and they're like beholden to them. They can't do anything without it. My purpose for doing this, the way I do it, how I do things by hand and how I hand cut and draw, it's the same way I plot and pull. There's no difference. That way you never back yourself in a corner and be like, oh, I can't do this without a plotter. You can do it without a plotter all you want. Plotter is just about efficiency and making things better and cleaner, but it shouldn't be the cheat, so I can only do this with a plotter. That's not the mindset you should have with it. And there's certain things you can only do with a plotter, like some of the complex geometric patterns we do on baggers and stuff. You can do it by hand. You're losing money, so don't. That's where it is. Logos, Harley logos, Coca-Cola logos, Suzuki logos. You know, you can spend 8 hours, 5 hours hand cutting it and spraying it, or you can size it from a plot file, hit cut, stick it, spray it, peel it, you're done. The customer's going to pay the same in the end. He doesn't care you spent 8 hours by hand. They just don't. You know, some guys do, but majority don't. They just want it to look perfect. That's where the plotters come in. And there's a lot of other stuff you can do with it. If you have a business, the other reason I recommend a plotter, if you're a custom motorcycle shop or custom airbrush shop or studio, it gives you another business, especially if you have employees. You can do window signs, you can do truck lettering, vehicle lettering, window lettering, you can do your own stores, you can do sandblast patterns. There's all stuff you can do with it as a side business that if you have someone that's not an artist in your studio, you can have them working and making money for you. Or when your airbrush business isn't so good, you might get a lot of lettering work. I do all the towns around me. I do most of the vehicles for the police and fire. And police or fire trucks, you know, I'm getting anywhere from $600 to $1,000 for lettering, depending on complexity. We'll do 5 or 6 of them a year. You know, that's $6-8 grand worth of work a year, and it doesn't take long. It takes a day or so to do it. So they're nice to have for other aspects other than painting. That's my spiel. But don't get a plotter because you don't want to learn how to cut things by hand or do things by hand. Because I can tell you right now, you're going to pay for that theory really quick. Okay, before I pull this off, I'm just going to use my black color. I'm just shading underneath these coins and these rips so I can start pulling the mask. Okay, we're going to do that a little more. The Cameo Silhouette is awesome. It's a great machine. What's also nice, guys, about the Cameo Silhouette, and I'm going to say it, don't buy a Cricut. They're a pain in the ass. Sorry. I don't like their interface and the way they lock you in to their services. It's very not user-friendly for certain things. Anyway, the nice thing about having the Cameo cutters versus the traditional plotters, you can put hard stencil material and cut your own hard stencils. So you can cut things like this out of Mylar or cardboard. Things like that. So that's super, super helpful. Dave the Bug Gregory not only has been at 175, but he's also threw a super chat in there. Thank you, sir. We'll get a little crowd yell for you. Let's make that bid. Okay, so are you raising the bid 200 with the 1999, or you do a 1999 and then raise the bid on top of it? I need to kind of know. Just trying to keep it straight. Yeah, you can cut transfer material. Man, they're nice to have. They're just, And guys, if you guys can surf Facebook, and if you can find your favorite adult material online, you can use a plotter. It doesn't take too much. They're actually pretty simple. All right. Just expect to spend as much on blades. Dude, I change a blade a year. Maybe 2 a year. Blades are cheap. As long as, if you're not overcutting. Alright, so we are at 200 for Dave. Oh, nope. We are now at London at 225. Thank you, sir. London pen. All right. So now we're gonna do these coins. Now these coins are already done gold, so I'm gonna hit the what's the side of a 3D object called? The profile or the plane? I forget. The relief. So I'm gonna pull all the mass on the side. If you can find triple X, you can work exactly, man. Dude, Dan Powell, that's going to be the next segment. If you can find your own porn, you can use a plotter. Oh, yeah. I meant going through scalpel blades. Yeah. If you want to cut some of the stuff I do, like pattern-wise, yeah, you'll go through a lot of blades. Okay, so these are the sides. It's really hard to see. I'm just going to shade. Yeah, the depth of the extrusion. So this is the green candy going on the side of the coin. On the extrusion or depth. I'm just shading it. So I have that little green tinge. Porn equals plotter. Got it. There you go. See? And like G.I. Joe always said, knowing is half the battle. Okay. I'm going to pull this coin. See, I'm pulling everything that's beneath. You know what? I'm looking at it. I need to go darker. So I'm going to use that dark blackish green. Just shading here just a little bit. So I'm kind of going back and forth with the candy green and that dark blackish green. This money is going to have a little bit of tone to it. Evening, sir. So that coin's the darkest, is in the background. Now I can pull that up. These might be kind of hard to make out the details on camera, but in person, whoever gets this fine piece will see all them 23 karat gold details. Yeah, but number 11 blades, yeah, I go through tons of them because you're only using the tip, just a tip. Just a tip. See, look. No pull. Man, these coins are gonna look good. It still counts, Dan. Still counts. Just tip. Just tip. See, look, that gold. None of that gold's pulling up. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. By using the candy, the reflections will still come through. Unless you're Bill Clinton, then you did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. Okay, so there's the gold. And here's the black. Now, the one thing you don't do, because it looks like hell, don't put white highlights over foil like gold or leaf and things like that. It flops funny. It looks horrible. It goes almost black. So if you're going to do it, what I do is airbrush a little bit and then do some light erasing techniques or things like that to bring the natural gold back through. But you just got to be really careful. So the water base, what I do is I use these little Q-tips. So if you shade a little bit, you want to highlight, you can wet it, and you can just pull highlights out naturally by doing this, by basically erasing the paint. I wouldn't use electric eraser because it'll probably burnish the gold too fast. But you can gently use a Q-tip, especially with water-based, and just pull little bits of paint off and expose. Duck sizing, man. I love that sizing. I still can't remember the other type I used to use. Yeah, we'll maybe get some fancy there. So look how those coins, look at that. So you can see how they still still keep the reflective nature. 23 karat, baby. What's the correct reply to top of the morning? Top of the morning to you. Oh, what is? Oh shit, I should ask my wife. My wife's Irish. Irish and Italian. I don't know the reply. School us, Dan. School us. And the rest of the day to yourself. Ah, very nice, very nice. Thank you. Thank you for the education. Okay, so that's it. All the masking is off. Let's pull the background and see how this thing floats in the air. And then maybe we'll do a little fire. And not like that one shot size. See, I don't like one shot. I don't like one shot size. This is ducks. I like ducks. Try water base, see if you like it. I hate it. I don't like it. We are back to Dave. Dave Gregory at 230. Velocity's also done a $20, $19.99 super chat. So, you know what? So let's do this. So Dave, we're going to include your super chat. So you're at 250 right now. Because you've already done $19.99, okay? So, Warlock, so he's at $249.99, but $250. Oh, yeah, Carl. Half and half. Both from Boston. And I'm Scottish. There we go. Look at that. Nice. Color border. We'll probably stick with green. Just to keep it all. But whoever's the high bid near the end can decide the color. If they want it in gold, like GoldLeaf, we'd have to add a little extra Need to run, grab lunch. It's 1:30 p.m. Friday here. Hey, Dan, thanks for popping in. Let's touch base next week sometime. And we'll make a little plan. But thanks for popping in. Thanks for sharing. And enjoy the rest of your day. Look at that. There we go. So now you'll be able to really see, like, look at this gold, like how that just pops. I'm going to switch to a multi-view here. So look at that. You can just really see that pop. Michael Cohen, thank you, sir. Thank you for them super chats. Alright, so what should we do in the background? Trying to think here. Do we just do a simple swirl in the background? Or just, you know what, we're just gonna do a nice little rim glow. I don't want to get too crazy. I'm just going to do a soft glow. Michael, it's much appreciated. The super chats really come in handy. Like tonight, it's really been great. And we need another rim. Grow up! So back over to London at 275. Yes, it's rim lighting, Michelle. Rim lighting. Not the other thing that starts with rim. Lighting. I can hear your laugh. I can hear it in my head. Nice. Irish and Scottish. Yeah, I don't have really much Irish in me. There might be a little somewhere along the line, I'm sure, but... a green rainbow, right. Yep. Irish inclusivity. As long as it's green, we're all good. You can fly whatever multicolor flag you want as long as it's green. I'm kidding. All right. So before I do any dark, I'm gonna punch out some highlights here. So I'm gonna take my white. I'm gonna take my white illustration white. I'm gonna add it to my line time green. And that's my highlight color. Not pure white, okay? So this is gonna be my highlight color, except for the gold. So we're gonna just kind of put wherever that rim lighting is hitting. Rim lighting. We're gonna hit those kind of bright areas. And it's gonna look almost white on your screen, but I promise you, it is not white. So this is white, that's green. It's got a green tint to it. I know it's hard to tell, but it's not white, damn it. Just hitting those big bright areas. this puppy up by 10 o'clock. Small choice of words. We'll put those core highlights on these teeth. I too am Irish and Scottish, but more Swedish. I too as well, but American isn't really a I don't even want to say race, but like ethnic background. You're killing me, Smalls. Who said small? Ain't nothing small. So we'll do these highlights, and then we'll go in for the shadows. I want to get these bright, all these bright details in first. We'll get the separations. So see what I'm doing? I'm bringing out these highlights. Let's go back to top down. So see what I'm doing here is I'm brightening these up. Yes, the money sack always needs good rim lighting. Thorough, solid, gentle even rim lighting. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to edit that out. So now I'm just going around. It's apparently not just a tip. It is just a tip. It's just a tip. Guys are killing me. Now I have to edit this video like crazy to make it a good usable how-to. Thanks, guys. Sick minds. Just getting these. Now this is not rim lighting, this is key lighting, this is your main lighting. So this is the key light, this is your main light coming down that's hitting the white source. Oh dear God. See what you've done, now Steve's embarrassed. Steve's an angel, would never use such crass thoughts or language. The dirtiest down and dirty yet, right? See what happens when my daughter's not here? So just highlight those teeth, the top of the teeth, with the key lighting. Oh Jesus. I think I'm gonna use this frog juice color, I think the tone, before I candy. And do the final darks. It's gonna look really good. That's what she said. Well, Michelle was talking about rim lighting. I'm sure someone's job is to handle rim lighting on a set. In our defense, we were left unsupervised. Thanks, Kaylee, for not coming tonight. Oh shit, I'm in trouble. Gonna make this rim lighting brighter. And I still gotta do the little skulls inside the, I still gotta do the skulls inside the clover fast. Scott Voss, what's going on, brother? G-rated left the house. Yeah, I might have to pull that back and before the video gets demonetized, but I think I'll be fine. Time we had, oh, 9:45. Man, gotta get crack-a-lackin'. Alright, let's get this frog juice on there. Got 62 you guys in here tonight. Thank you very much for popping in. Facebook continues to be onesie twosies. Maybe, oh, we got 5. Hi, guys. Alright, so now I'm going to take this frog juice and I'm going to tone over this because I just want it a little greener, but I don't want to candy it fully yet and go too dark. The frog juice is just going to tint that white down a little bit without affecting it like a candy. It's just going to tone it down. Almost makes it a little lime color in tone. Will the addition of a gold leaf border be? This thing would have to get up considerably higher, I think, before we go to adding a gold leaf border at the end. I think the last two we did the silent editing. I think like the last one, the silver leaf one ended up close to 500. I think it was at 500 or 400. And I think this one last year was that. Because it's a whole extra. I got to clear it, sand it, then leaf it, and then clear it again, polish it. So it's an extra couple hours work to get gold leaf on here. Alright, so now we start doing all the details. This is where I get pretty quiet. I can't really look and do the details. But don't worry, this one's gonna, I'm gonna spend another couple, probably an hour after this, just doing details. Because this I need more than 15 minutes to do all the final details, but you got to get the gist of it. So whoever's receiving this will get the final details. Let me get into the top down. You can see how the details start to come together. Now, depending how much the super chats add in, I mean, we might get to a point where combined, I'm willing to leave it, but we'll see. Yeah, I would need. Yeah, I would have to get over 4 before I do, before I would leaf the border. You can see how fast, because I've laid everything out, how fast all the details start to come together now. So watch, you'll see how this nose comes together, just a little bit of shading, because all the basics are done. And what this does, what this stage does as far as like a learning standpoint, this gets rid of all the plotted edges. Because basically I'm softening all that plotted edge with detail and freehanding. You need to thin a little more. Ew, spilling paint all over me. Way better than I did today. Sometimes, man, you gotta walk away from parts. It's a thing. There we go. Now I can tone. So the teeth. Let's get these teeth done. Come around the top, dagger stroke up, around the top, dagger stroke up. Or just dagger stroke up from the middle. And watch, we're going to blend this gold tooth right in. Tone right here. See how fast that just tones it now. You get this detail, a little detail in the bones, a little core shadow right under here. Really makes that cheekbone pop. See that? That's the key right there, that little core shadow. Darken under here, darken inside the mouth. You can push that teeth back, so you can just push that right back there. Mini skull covers. Mini skull covers. Let's do these teeth, coming up from the bottom, down, dagger strokes, little dagger strokes. So if you looked at that little video I did for Createx on dagger strokes, that's all I'm doing. These little dagger strokes for these teeth. That's really all it is. You get really good at them things, you can pull off any image. Core shadow the brim of this hat. Now what a core shadow means, it's not going all the way to the bottom. Okay, see where I put that? I'm going to do it again around here. I'm staying above the bottom, letting a little light hit in, just like you look at the side of a brush. You get a little light in the bottom. And then down here. Darken inside the hat. I'm gonna get here. Do a little skull like here. Inside the gold. And I'm going to post up the video of the gold and silver leaf how-to very soon. I did record me doing the initial gold sizing application on this. So I'll either add that to this video or I'll post it up as a separate short. Or not a short, like another video. No, Gerald. He knew it was St. Patrick's Day. He knew it was going to be green, so he stayed away. Just kidding. Green. And then it's just keep detail time. Like I said, I'm going to work on this for a bit more. And after the video's over, just get all the final details kind of done. But I think you guys are getting the gist of what it's going to look like. Let's just get this hair done. We got 4 minutes. Let's see what 4 minutes of rapid detailing does. Let's see what happens. I'm going to barely talk. If anyone bids for Forelock, if you could keep track, that'd be great, since Kelly's not here, or anyone else. And we'll see where we're at in 4 minutes. This is how I work normally. This is usually kind of the speed I actually work at. Just so you can get kind of a real world. Those years of slinging t-shirts at the malls was such a huge help of being able to just confidently freehand without a problem. And just paint. Yeah, I'm dry. Oh, not fully. Oh, there we go. A little extra fuel. So I want to get this hair really pushed back and dark. Let's separate the money bag. Right now, I think we're at the high bid of $275 with London Pen. I get it, Michael. Can't buy them all. One minute. So see that 3 minutes, I went from here to here, how much that changed it? Do you have anything special? So yeah, actually, for this one I probably won't really need to because it's pretty small. If I'm doing big areas before and especially if I'm definitely going to be massing over it, I put APO1 down, adhesion promoter, then I do the clear. So you can't Lumalure gold coins because the light, the gold is fully opaque. It won't light through it. So you'd have to like Lumalure around it. And then we've done Lumalure with gold. You have to make sure that all your connections are really sealed up and cleared before the gold goes down. Because if anything arcs up through the clear, it'll arc against the gold because gold is very, very good at conducting. But gold is not translucent, so it won't go through. Would be cool though, we've thought of it. Okay, so that being said, Right now we are 275 going once. Right? 275. 275, just confirm. If anyone else is in, now would be the time. Well, yeah, it's from the rim lighting, Michelle. Oh my god, I'm done. I can't. Can't with you. Oh no, it doesn't need a highlight because it's gold. Here, watch. I can put a highlight on it. I can make it green. And then, what you do, I just highlight with a little erasing. See that? Now, it's highlighted. Boop. Now what? Now what are you going to say? It's definitely a shift thing you got to get used to when you have GoldLeaf in the murals. Yeah, it's really hard to catch on camera. In person, it works a lot better. As you can see now, the gold is brighter at that highlight. You know what? We gotta do a little skull on the coins. Yeah, I'm messy tonight. Skull coins. Oh yeah, man, this is, especially doing candies, man, the candies just stain. Michelle, I'm giving you the mom voice. Card bid, $275. Hit likes. Yeah, a lot. I don't get too worried. A lot of the likes show up afterwards. Like right now, it only shows 3 likes for me. A lot of the stuff gets tabulated after. But thank you for reminding people. Likes and shares, people. Rewatching too. Rewatch this shit. That helps a lot. Heads up skull coins, yep. Just little kind of silhouettes of them. If they were tail side up, they would need more rim lighting for the tails. Right, Michelle? So I think we'll just do a nice simple green pinstripe around this, and I'll mess with it a little bit after. But for all intents and purposes, this is done. High bid, $275. Now we're past 10. We have gone to overtime, people. We have gone into overtime. Tint this outer color. The what? Sugar on the truck. The Leprechaun is running east. That must be from the movie. I don't think I've ever watched a full Leprechaun movie. Oh, then I still gotta clean up airbrushes. Boo! That's no fun. Cleaning airbrushes is bleh. Okay. All right. Let's put a pinstripe on this. One day I'll brush a pinstripe on. I know everyone kind of wants that. But I've actually done a cleaning video. So there's an airbrush maintenance one. Yeah, this mask, you can get this download file, which gives you both. It gives you this one and the one from last year. It gives you both. And if you use code Cowbell, you'll still get 20% off. What'd I do? Oh my God, Scott, what'd I do? Yeah, so you go to MckayFineArt.com, go to catalog, it's in catalog. The link should be in the description, actually, of this video. And then use code Cowbell, you can get 20% off. Thank you, Mike. Let's just get this done. Yeah, I never watched a Leprechaun movie. It's funny. So during high school, I used to work at a video store all through high school. So it's kind of weird because all the major popular stuff that was kind of happening at the time, I didn't watch it. Because I get sick of everyone renting the damn movie or asking for it. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. I'm just glad the gold leaf didn't peel off. Peekaboo. I see your rim lighting. Thanks, Mike. Oh yeah, I did. On one of them. Another one was just... Another one was just sorry, no. There's actually a couple in the past couple weeks. It's kind of what got me to make a post about it. I'm like, no, all that work does not cost $500. Nice. Awesome shine. Alright. Maybe I'll put a little green ice pearl on this when I clear it. Give it a little sparkle. Whoa! That almost sucked. London, you don't have the original no, Gary has the original Leprechaun, right? The other one? Of this version. I'll get the overall look, and then I will still go in, mess around with this for a little bit more before I final clear it. And get this off to the lucky new owner, London Pen, the official owner of this fun Leprechaun 2.0 piece. I want to thank everyone for all the super chats, because that helped me put it over the top. Boop. And tone this out some more. And like I said, I will do a bunch of little extras on this and just get it really dialed in before final clear. I want to thank everyone for tonight. Thank you everyone for showing up. It was an awesome feed. I hope you all have a happy and safe St. Patrick's Day next week. And I'll catch you next Thursday for the feed. We'll do something fun. Might do that mermaid piece next week. That might come up. That mermaid one was fun. Because I talked with Christiane. I showed Christiane, the photographer, and I think we'll be able to paint that without a problem. It's very cool. I want to thank everyone for popping in tonight. London, thank you very much. We'll chat. And thank you everyone for the bids, super chats. Have an awesome evening. Have an awesome week. Keep painting. Stay happy and healthy. And make sure you check on that rim lighting.